Hi, we're joined by these two wonderful ladies. This is a mother and daughter, Ccie Dynamo, as I told them just a minute ago. We're going to ask them a few questions for women in networking. So one of my first questions is, how in the world did you guys become interested in IT?
Well, it's all I've done in my entire career. I wanted to find something where I could support my family, and I looked around at the different things that were available at that time that would be a good fit for having a family and being a woman. And it was more male-oriented jobs that were paying more and paying benefits at the time. So I went to a trade school and I took electronics, started carrying a tool bag, and then just moved on from there in different areas of hardware, software, and then finally got into Cisco networking.
That's awesome. And then how did you become interested?
Well, honestly, I was never interested.
Okay.
I didn't want anything to do with it. I thought, that's for mom, that's what she does.
Yeah.
I can do my own thing.
That's right.
And so I went to college. I majored in technical writing, English, went into insurance, and found myself just not having as many opportunities as I had hoped that I would have.
Sure.
And so that's when I said, Mom, I need your help. Teach me everything you know.
Yeah.
And that's, I looked at where can I seek other opportunities that will allow me to learn something new every single day.
Right.
Be able to reach out and change somebody's life as well as my own. But then to also, be able to do something with my mom.
Yeah, that's great. So Mom, tell us, what were some of the methods that you used to help her get interested? Because she was in a completely different field. So how did you transfer her over to IT?
Honestly, once that bug hit, well, one of the things, my two boys are in networking as well. So
Okay.
every time we would go to dinner, it would be like we'd be talking shop,
Okay.
and she'd be sitting there just glaring at us. But once she decided she was in, she just really wanted to change. She wanted something, a more dynamic field where she could learn and grow. And once she was in, she was in.
Okay.
So she started out, we started out with some book learning, and very quickly, we got a few routers and a few switches, and I gave them to her, and I said, you can't get into it because, I don't know the password. You're going to have to figure that out.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, whoa. So, and then she learned very quickly how to learn to use the documentation and Google and all of that. And we just, from day one, it was hands-on. And then we got an entire lab kit and went through CCNA and CCNP. And then I was like, well, I've always wanted to get a CCIE.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that? And she's like, you think I can? And
Wow.
Yeah,
and
so
she
we're
said,
like,
well,
yes.
even if you don't, at least you've learned a lot.
Right,
Absolutely.
And my
But she
brilliant
did.
mother passed on her first attempt. Unfortunately, I did not pass on my first attempt, but at that point, having learned a lot just wasn't enough for me. I had to prove to myself that I could actually do it. And
Absolutely.
so I just kept pushing on, and she supported me the whole way, and it's been fantastic.
Oh,
we
that's great.
practiced together. We would, for troubleshooting, we had, our rack, and
Oh,
we would,
yeah.
I'd bug it for her, and she'd bug it for me. We'd put in the hardest bugs we could think of.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So you studied together for your CCIE. Tell us what that was like.
Intense.
Very intense.
Studying
yeah.
for any certification, I think, is intense, whether it be CCNA or CCNP or absolutely CCIE. But
Studying for the lab was a whole new level of intensity. We had to tell people that we weren't home. We're gone.
And helping each other through it is picking each other up when, if I wasn't getting something, she would whiteboard on it for me for hours until I actually got it,
Yeah.
and 8 a.m. and she wants to stay in bed, and I'm going, nope, get up, you gotta get up, So it's helping each other through it, and I think that's integral for any person studying for a certification is to have a study partner, to have somebody that you can turn to, whether they be male or female or your cat, whatever. Just somebody who can help you through it is really important. A mentor.
Awesome.
And we had a lot of fun. There might have been a couple tense moments.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And I gotta say, explaining it to somebody else really cements your knowledge. And sometimes you're explaining something and you figure out, oh, maybe I don't really understand completely how that works.
Yeah.
And so, it was the best way to learn it was to help somebody else.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for taking the time to
Yeah,
talk to
thank
us.
you.
No, thank
Very
you.
helpful. Thank
It's
you.
wonderful.